Hello!
Hello.
And welcome to episode 2 of A Gentleman's Agreement.
Huzzah.
Huzzah! I'm Ella, and this is my wonderful, vivacious co-host Sarah.
Hello.
If you're new to the show, and you're not one of our avid,
Loyal followers.
then we're a show about arguing, debates about everything and nothing, basically. Your 4 a.m. chats that you'd have on Skype, finding interesting things on the internet, and basically we're going to pitch things to one another and try and get a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, facts, reviews,
Yeah.
see what's going on in the world.
Yeah, all things weird. This episode is our dollar bill episode.
Oh, I thought it was the money episode.
Just add in some bling.
Oh, okay.
The money episode.
Yeah.
And we've got some exciting new segments for you guys. Never tried before.
Yeah, so we kind of did a kind of internet deep dive, and we started with the same phrase and then went on the internet for an hour. I actually stuck to the hour as well, yeah, and then just saw what we came up with and how we kind of... I'm interested to see what ways we went, like how differently we're going to go down.
That's
because you made one comment to me and I'm already now like, we have gone different ways.
Really? Which comment?
From the video, the DJ Khaled thing.
Oh, that's a different thing. That's the don't... Because we're doing another segment. We're starting with the Don't You Just Hate It When segment. And mine is to do with DJ Khaled.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just dive straight in.
Yeah? Well, we'll start with our Would You Rathers.
Okay. Well, mine... I have 2, actually.
Yeah?
I've been over keen this time.
I was hoping that this time you'd do
I'd
more.
Be the keen one. Oh, I would get off my ass. Do some...
No, because I've done less. Because I've done less.
Yeah. So mine, they're not as kind of well thought out, but I just thought like, dilemma. But would you rather win 10 grand on the lottery?
Yeah.
And, it's not taxed, just goes straight to you.
Okay.
And it's legitimate. Or find £1 million in an alley near your house. So it's like...
In cash.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, oh, it's more money, but then it's like, oh, it's dodgy. Like, you don't know if there's going to be someone coming after you for it.
That's so true. And also, you can't...
It's cash, it's kind of...
You can't put that in the bank.
And it's kind of stealing. Well, you put small amounts in the bank, but yeah, you can't really...
Yeah.
Bank it.
You can't tell the police because they just take it off you.
Mm-hmm. And also then there's like the worry of like the Russian mafia.
The Russian mafia. I feel like everything comes back to the Russians.
But you don't know, like, if someone's seen it, it's just you'll feel edgy.
Yeah.
What would you do?
The thing is, 10,000.
It's not even that much.
It's not even that much. I swear, what can you do?
Well, you can have a good holiday, but you can't really like buy it. You can't even... you could put a deposit on a house.
I don't think you could. I feel like it's like more 50 grand now for a deposit on the house.
Yeah, isn't it 10% to get a mortgage? You have to have 10% of it. So you could buy a 100 grand house, which
is like... for Bristol, there's like
not
nothing.
That many, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that much money, really, 10 grand.
I think the excitement of finding the million would be much more interesting than getting the 10 grand. Even if I don't end up keeping it, the phoning you up and being like...
story as well.
Yeah. Being like, I found $1 million, and maybe spending a bit of it, kind of going on a weird spree and then getting really paranoid and like, oh, what if someone's coming after us? It's a whole movie set up.
I know, in my head I was like, I'm pretty sure there's a film where the boy finds like £1 million by the train tracks.
Oh, it's
Millions
called like Millions, yeah.
But
and it is, they do get in that dodgy
something
setup,
happens,
yeah, because it is like
also,
dodgy.
I don't think you could actually carry £1 million in cash.
Can you not?
I don't know. I don't think you would. I could.
My weak arms.
But I'm like, you'd probably have to be like, phone someone like, Dad, come help me get the car around. We'll drag this bag of money.
If I had enough people in on it with me, so I phoned up a bunch of people and I was like, okay, if we all keep this secret that I've got £1 million.
You've already faulted your plan there, because the more people you tell, the more people you have to kill. The more people you have to like share it with, and then the more one's going to let slip, one's going to get drunk, tell someone.
I would have a trusted group of 12 amigos.
Friends.
That I
wouldn't. I don't think I'd even tell one of my friends. I would only tell my immediate family.
But that would drive you crazy. That's the thing. I couldn't keep it to myself, because then I would start to get very paranoid. But if you had 12 people and you kept meeting up with them, like, whew.
Nah, 12's too much.
How many would
I'd
you
probably do 4, maybe 5. And like you guys, I'd be showing up to like just meetups at the pub or something in like Gucci. You guys would be like, "Oh, where have you got that?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it's fake."
There's no way you could hide that. You'd just never be able to spend any of the money.
I just wouldn't tell you guys. So I'd just be going on holidays and you'd be thinking, where's she paying for these from? And I just got a really good job. Pay rise. My other one, actually, this isn't even that, it's not original, but I thought, would you rather be a sugar mama, like paying for your man to stay home and have fun?
How spicy is the man?
And you have he can just a normal.
He's just a normal man.
He's just like someone you'd actually like.
Yeah. Okay.
Like maybe your boyfriend to say. So you have like a nice high-powered job, but it's quite stressful, but you make a lot of money. Or would you want to have a sugar daddy, and he's out there getting the money, and then
am I doing any jobs while I have a sugar daddy? Am I just living my life now?
You can. Can you? Yes, you can kind of do what you want, but you have like certain things, obviously, that you can and can't do.
Yeah, I think it's funny because both of those scenarios, you play it out in your head and you feel like they're going to be good. But I've been in both situations, obviously on a obviously on a tiny scale. Like I pay for a couple of meals.
You've been a sugar mama.
On a very small scale.
Who was your sugar daddy?
I mean, just with my boyfriend, we've switched roles.
Oh, like one has payday comes, yeah.
One has payday comes. Like, we switch roles, and each time, if it goes on for like a week where I haven't paid for something and I don't have enough money to pay, and he keeps paying, I feel like low self-esteem, a little bit. Like, I can't pay for myself.
I feel guilty. I just feel like constantly like I am a dead weight.
Exactly, that's what I feel. I feel like I'm tracking him down.
Yeah. But then if they've got so much money that it's like becomes like money's not an object to them, and then like they don't care. Yeah. But it's because I know, like, with the sense that you're talking, you know, they haven't got limitless money, so you feel bad taking part of them. But if they literally had so much money that they're just like, oh yeah, let's go buy a boat. And
it was like Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, I'm talking richer. I'm talking like oil rich.
Oil rich. Oh.
Yeah. And all they want you to, like, you have to be like home when they're there. They like kind of expect your company.
Wait, so I don't like him?
No, you do. You can you can love him, but like
I like him, but all he expects is my company.
You have to have a limit to the kind of freedom that you'd want.
Okay.
To have.
So I'm kind of on a bit of a reign.
Very, very like long leash.
Very long. Okay. So I think we both just want to be like 1 millionaires on the run and sugar mummies to...
Well, once I've got that million, you've got to spend it on someone.
A couple of honeys.
Wonderful. So do you have a rant for me now then? Because
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something I felt passionate about for 3 years.
For 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't know it would come up as a don't you really hate it when. But I was like looking into different ways people get rich in like 2017 basically. And with Facebook and social media, a lot of people get rich through odd avenues of becoming a meme, basically. And I think DJ Khaled is the biggest like successful meme person that I know. Do you know much about DJ Khaled?
Yeah. All I know is that he always says, "We the best music."
His whole
DJ Khaled, and that's literally all he does in a song. And then he's somehow like the producer.
He's not even a producer. That's
is he
the
not?
thing. So he's technically down as the producer, but I've been digging on him, and I think the only way you could describe him is an organizer.
Yeah,
because
well, that's kind of what a producer is, isn't it?
He has a team of people who produce the beats.
Yeah.
And finds the hot new tracks. And he chooses one that he likes. Then he contacts an artist and says, I think you should write a song for this. So he's like a supervisor.
Yeah.
But I don't think he deserves to be like on most of his songs it's like DJ Khaled and then a list of all the other
people that are with him, and then all he does is like, we the best.
DJ Khaled.
And he's also got this obsessive thing with his baby son, isn't he?
Yeah, that's quite cute.
Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah.
But like made his son feature on his songs, and he like has made his tour bus a picture of his like his little
didn't
kid,
know that.
and his little son is like always with him. But I'm like, that's cute, but I also feel like he's just trying to like get his son's career sorted. From it, like, oh look, get you out, you're my
He's
son.
already
and then,
in the songs. That's
yeah,
kind
he's
of
probably
weird.
already a millionaire, that little kid.
Oh my god. Well, DJ Khaled is worth $20 million.
Heck.
I know, that's a lot of money. And because he's obviously successful. He's worked with a lot of big people like Kanye West, Jay-Z,
Rihanna,
Beyonce he's even worked with. And I was like reading a lot of interviews with them. And a lot of people are like, what does DJ Khaled do? Why are you working with them? And they just say he brings a lot of energy. That's all they can say. They say, like, imagine... Dr. Dre said something like, imagine it's storming and raining outside. Khaled will be the sun that makes the clouds part. So it's like, he basically is like a hype man, almost. I just don't understand how he's got so successful from that. And also how he managed to work with Jay-Z. I read an article which said he basically stalked him, or not stalked him, but was pestering him to work with him for so long. And he has so much high energy and is just like, I'm the best.
Yeah, like
repeating it.
Broke him down.
Broke him down and then did a song with him. And it almost feels like Empress New Clothes.
Yeah.
You know how, like, he's just like, I'm the best, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to make the best music on the planet. And everyone's just like, okay, I guess I'll just let you do your thing.
I keep seeing him pop up in, like, the MTV advert for, like, the MTV Awards.
Yeah.
And literally all he says is, like, you know when Khaled's on the track, it's going to be the best because we bring the best. And I was like, that is all you actually, like, are the only two words you know? Like, we and best.
I saw this spoof documentary about him, and it was like he's it showed a quote of him going like, I'm the best in the business, you know, when I'm on a track it's gonna be superb, and then it's just a video of him speaking into a microphone like I am now, just going, another one.
Yeah, that's what he says as well. He always goes, and it's another one. Yeah. We the best. Yeah.
And it's like, that's all he does. And it's, so he does that. He has got a music career. He's a DJ in almost the lowest sense of the word. But
minimum effort
producer. Yeah. But what made him a household name is really him becoming a meme through his Snapchats. And through a YouTuber called H3 Productions, which 3 years ago is how I found out about DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
Is through him. Ethan, who runs the YouTube channel, did a reaction video to DJ Khaled's song "Hold You Down." Have you heard this song?
No, but already the name sounds really rapey.
It's so rapey. It's outrageously rapey. It's like, how did they get away with it? As soon as I saw this video, I was like blood boiling angry, just because it seems outrageous that he's like famous for making a song like this.
Yeah.
And it starts off in the video where he's with this girl, and he goes up to her and like kind of threateningly, like as if he's like starting a fight.
Yeah.
It's just like squaring up to her and being like, "You smart, you a genius, you loyal," like, and he like.
I like your DJ Khaled voice. Oh, you smart.
Oh, you smart, baby. Like, almost really aggressive. He's like, he's like saying, "Oh, you smart because you let me hustle," and basically you let me go off with other girls, and you just stand there vacantly while I point in your face.
Do you know what, as well? I know this is your rant, but the word hustle, like, it's one of those words that's used for like anything. Just like, oh, I'm out there hustling. Yeah. I'm just like,
what does it mean, DJ Khaled?
Yeah. Well, anyone who uses it, I'm like, they all just kind of use it as a word for like doing stuff that you probably shouldn't. Like,
exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I'm hustling out there, man. You gotta be a hustler.
It's like, I feel like he's just blagging his way through.
Yeah. Literally
his whole life. It's like, it's literally insane. And the lyrics are insane. He goes, "Oh, come on, baby, let's ride. I'm gonna hold you down," as they're walking in. And like, one of the lyrics are literally like, it says, "In and out, you know I'm gonna hold you down," which is so rapey. In all senses of the word. It's like, what else could they mean instead of that sounding like pretty much rape.
Yeah, and it's annoying because it's the kind of thing where like there's such basic crappy lyrics that like it'll get caught in your head and you'll be singing it and then you're like, oh wait,
that's literally
that's
what happened to me yesterday. Because I was rewatching all of the reaction videos and documentaries about him to get some notes, and I was today making my breakfast being like, I'm gonna be the one to hold you down, like singing along to it.
Yeah.
And it makes me so angry because it's
got in your head.
It's got in my head, and it's got in the whole nation's head because it's got 250 million views on YouTube. This song, and this one scene is the one that literally makes it so annoying to me. He's sat next to a different woman from the beginning.
He's hustling.
Oh, he's hustling, baby. And he's like, say my name, baby. And she's like, DJ Khaled. Like, literally, like, not even looking at her. And he's like, say my name. Like, say it again.
Yeah.
Like, as if he's speaking to someone he's about to kill.
Yeah.
And she's like, DJ Khaled. And he's like, that's right, baby. You smart. You loyal. And then he gets out this wad of cash. And gives it to her and goes like, go buy your mama a house. Go buy your whole family a house. And it's like the equivalent of $10,000 that he's handing over.
It's just cheap. I mean, houses are cheaper in America, but I think
$10,000. Like,
that's just like so stupid.
I know.
I do hate watching like looking into like rap videos too much because it is just, you think, oh, like just got to get yourself some hoes and some like
gonna hustle
a
out those
poolside. And what else do they have? Like, and let's just throw some money around and talk about how we're like really violent and people are scared of us and how we have a lot of money and bitches.
Yeah. And how your bitches are
smart.
They're really smart because they let you do what you want. It's so that makes me so angry, and just what he's all about makes me mad.
Yeah, because it's like he's not doing anything.
He's not doing anything, and like this video is damaging because like kids will watch it or people will watch it and be like, "Oh, DJ Khaled's the best." Like some people out there will be like, "He's successful."
So I should be like this.
So I should be like him.
If someone did that, I'd just backhand them.
I know.
I am smart, but
I'm smart enough to not be with you. Yeah. Right at the end, this is the annoying thing. So he gives her all that money, and then he goes to put some headphones on her, and he's like about to put it on, and he goes, "Hold up, wait a minute, say my name again."
I thought you were going to be like, another one.
And it's like he's got this key to success, but he makes me more confused about success. It's like, what are you doing?
Is he American?
Yeah. He's originally from Palestine.
Yeah.
I think.
But he's born in America, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've never actually heard him... No, I have heard him talk, but like only in a voice, if you know what I mean. Like, we the best.
I think that's his actual voice.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I don't know if that was like a put on like catchphrase.
I looked into his past, and he basically was working in like a normal, I think like pawn shop, like where you trade in old
porn,
naked ladies. But the boss said he was really quiet. He just used to use their phones to be phoning up like record labels, and so he got fired for doing that. And then 10 years later, he saw that DJ Khaled was on TV, and he said something like, "I don't know when he switched on the DJ Khaled in him, but it's working for him." So that makes it seem like he's putting on a persona.
Maybe,
which I'd be more happy about if like this was like a created thing that he's mastered.
That sounds like a proper like sitcom kind of thing of just someone being really quiet, like trying to get into the business, and then eventually just like changes his personality and becomes like
and just explodes onto everything. Yeah. But he, in the documentary, the weirdest thing is he just repeatedly there's this image of him or video of him banging this woman. Literally, you see them having sex, and he's just going, "You smart, you loyal, you a genius," like with each thrust. And it's like so strange.
Every time you say the We Smart. It makes me think of in The Help, you know, where they're like the nanny to the little girl who's like, mum doesn't really care about her. She's like, you is smart, you is important,
That's so
you
cute.
is beautiful.
Don't make me think of
why
DJ Khaled.
I know, but that's why I keep thinking, oh, it's nice, and then I'm like, oh wait, no. It's really like demeaning.
It's very demeaning. He means it as it's like he's saying the exact opposite while he's saying it. And then
little sneak.
It's a very sneaky sneak. But Snapchat was basically what made him so popular.
Yeah.
And his Snapchats are pretty funny. It's just him chatting nonsense. Like what rocketed him to fame was he got lost on the way back from, I'm not sure where, some kind of maybe P. Diddy's house, and he was like riding on a jet ski, and he left just as it was getting dark, and it got pitch black, and he got lost, and he thought he was going to die, and he was live Snapchatting it, being like, oh, we lost out here, and he's like, we're going to keep going though, it's the key to success, you know, we the best, and he makes it off, and then the next day that was picked up by BuzzFeed, all of those kind of people, and he just became a household meme.
Yeah.
And now he forever is.
Does he make money off being a meme though?
He has merchandise which have his slogans on, which literally one of them is keys open doors is what is on one of his t-shirts.
It's like that. Like what Kylie Jenner's like New Year resolution. I can't remember what it was, but it was something really like
realizing
stupid, just
things.
like, yeah, that's it. This year's just for realizing things.
It's about realizing
people are like, whoa.
Yeah. Some people literally buy into it, and it's just it's crazy because I'm speaking about him and I feel passionately about him, so I kind of perpetuate it in a way. Like most people either find him funny, actually think he's a success, or think he's ridiculous, but either way they're like
feeding into it.
To be
honest, obviously the whole pervy rapey kind of vibe is
that's
gross.
The only thing that makes me
I don't like, but like otherwise I'm like, do you know what, capitalizing on people kind of making fun of him for being a meme, like if anything that's quite good. And like part of me's like, well, fair play for the kid getting himself out of the pawn shop and like into the music industry just by ringing people up. Like I didn't realize it was that easy. You just ring, hello, we the best. Oh, can you do a song for me? And then I'd be a music producer right now if I knew it was that. I
literally don't know how he did it, and it is still a mystery. Like I researched so hard to try and see what he actually does, and it's very hard to find.
That's funny. That makes me want to look into him more, because it's always just kind of like a character who's floating around in that celebrity sphere that I don't even.
He's on your radio, literally hypnotizing you, being like DJ Khaled, like every day. It's less so that I dislike DJ Khaled, which I do, but I more dislike the meme culture that makes him so
famous. Yeah, that's true.
It's the same with Cash Me Outside Girl. How about that?
Oh yeah, that was like on Dr.
Phil.
Dr. Seuss. Like Dr. Phil, and she's just like,
well, she's now
there's like Catch Me Outside baby Halloween costumes on
God,
Amazon.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, I saw that the other
day.
It's literally it was just a wig and like some hoops and it was on like a proper baby as well.
I love that.
Yeah, no, it did look quite funny, like cute.
There's projections that she'll probably be worth $10 million by the end of next year, because they're making a reality show about her.
Oh my God.
All of her endorsements, her music career, which has like 45 million views. But what I feel is like it's vultures making money off of her, because she's 14. Like she's 14. She's 14.
What? I thought she was like 19.
No, she's 14.
Oh, okay, that's a bit. Yeah, like she's obviously just been led astray and like acted up, and I think she didn't come across well on that.
No,
I keep wanting to say Zeus. Dr. Phil.
Yeah,
but like that's a bit tight. Oh, I feel bad now.
That's what I mean. I think, like, obviously she's not like the greatest kid.
She's getting 10 million, so I'm kind of like,
But I feel like things are going to end well.
Yeah. But then also, like, she's making money from being a not for like a talent or a good person. It's from like being a joke, being a meme.
From being a meme.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like, stop making people these memes and then making them really rich from it.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair on them almost.
Yeah, true.
But that's what I hate.
That's what you hate.
That's what I hate. Well, do you hate it?
I don't hate it. I kind of like dislike it. I know what you mean. Like I always kind of I get frustrated when people are making so much money
Yeah.
for like stuff that I'm like, I could do that.
Exactly.
But then I'm like, well, I didn't, so.
That's true.
But,
I mean, like, not being DJ Khaled. So.
But no, mine don't you just hate it is so like when you're watching a TV program or a film and they're like portraying the main cast person as like, they're like, oh yeah, really poor, like they've lost their jobs, and there's always a period in films where the main character goes through a rough time, and they've got like no money and all this stuff, but then they're always like, these characters that always have these big like Brooklyn open plan apartments or something.
It's
or,
so
like,
annoying.
They have no money, and they're working like a normal job in a shop, yet somehow they go home and then they are able to quit their job and go on this big expensive adventure or something like that. Like,
yeah. And
I'm like, how is that possible? I feel like they forget the money aspect sometimes in films and just like skip over it.
They want to make this life seem amazing, right? So they're like, just because they don't have any money, it doesn't matter. They can still do whatever they want. And it makes me think, I was like, I want to grow up to be like on the ropes because they have the most fun.
Yeah, but it's like so I know New Girl, the flat that they have is split between like a few of them, and that's kind of, oh, that's realistic. But still, I then think like, oh, everyday people have those big like
amazing
converted firehouse apartments in center of like LA, and that's just an like, where realistically I sometimes like Google housing prices and like flats, and I'm just like, I can't ever see myself being able to afford that kind of cool housing.
That would be like a dream house.
Or the holidays they go on, like
they don't they just one day drive to Miami, like her and Nick, and like stay in some hotel there.
I know, it's just like, it's ridiculous. And I know Nick, there's always the joke of Nick having like no money anyway, but because I was thinking about like trying to think of different, because I know it's something that I always think of in films, so I was trying to think of examples, but the only one I could like think of was a film I saw recently. It's called like Everything.
Okay.
Do you know, it's the one with the little girl, and she's like, her mum's like, she's grown up and she's like allergic to everything, so she has to stay in the house.
Yes, I've seen an advert for this.
And her mum's a doctor, and I'm like, okay, doctor, that's a decently well-paid job, and that's it, it's just her and her mum, and they have like this really futuristic house with like glass doors that like shut, and then they're like shh, and like sanitize everything, and then she has a full-time nurse staying with the daughter, and the daughter's just got like iPads, phones, like the best computers, like entertaining her, and I was just like, that's just not realistic. Like, and there was a big house property anyway, and it was just like, there's no,
it's outrageous.
One doctor's salary. Actually, I think the dad had died, so maybe they got some insurance money.
But still, it's not going to be that
20
much.
years of like full-time nursing and like this futuristic house that they had, like developments. I was like, And the other one, like I was thinking of, I love the program, but it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And to be fair, they normally have like, Frank is going to be the dad's going to be rich, and he kind of funds all these stupid plans they have. One of the characters, Dee, she just works at the bar, and they always like, the thing is, they're always saying about them having no money, and they always do these like money making schemes. But she has like an apartment on her own that looks like, it looks really nice and big, and then like she always gets a new car, and then the two guys like in the group that are friends, like they always trash the car, and then she gets a new car, and like, she had like 4 cars now, and they like refuse to give her any money for them or pay for it or anything. So I'm like, how has she afforded like 4 cars and like this nice apartment whilst working in like a bar, like where they get paid minimum wage and like they don't have any customers?
But I do think England are better at presenting real, like I feel like Skins and like Shameless, they show like
more realistic, but it's like one of those things where I know they're going on these stupid adventures most of the time in these films and TVs, and that's the most unrealistic thing. But still, it just bothers me that I'm like, they haven't built up her financial background realistically. Like,
well, you're watching like Doctor Who, like, well, that TARDIS, but no way they could
have to pay
afford that.
Insurance on that one at least. Just like, it's just unrealistic, and it bothers me.
No, I know. I get the same, because growing up, we watch these shows, and you build your idea of what your future is going to be like around watching like That's so Raven, and
Yeah.
seeing the houses they live in and being like, wow, I can't wait until I get a house like that.
And their holidays and stuff
Yeah,
as well.
and their
like-
holidays. And then realistically, it's like they would have had to be millionaires to live the way they do.
Yeah. And they always kind of like breeze over what the parents do or something.
Yeah,
Those kind
yeah.
of shows. Like her dad was like a chef. Like,
Yes, that's
full-time
true.
chef.
And in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, it's like she lived with her 2 aunties, right?
Yeah.
Did they do anything?
Well,
Did they
they're
have any
witches
jobs?
though, so like they can just magic money.
Can you magic money if you're a witch?
Yes.
Thank you,
You
Sarah,
need to
for
read
telling
up
me
on
that.
your witching.
You know all about the witches.
Anyway, should we move on to the nice
we-
internet deep dive?
Yes.
Deep dive? Deep dive.
Deepy dive.
So we basically both went on with the same phrase into Google. I
Yeah.
start on Google. I assume you start on Google.
Oh, yeah.
What other search engines are there? And I just typed in, we both typed in richest man in the world
Yeah.
and then Googled it and then went on for an hour, see where we got.
Yeah.
And I'm intrigued now
I'm
to see what we
very
got.
intrigued.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, do you want to start or...
I got really excited because I've already been like using these facts in everyday life because...
Have you actually?
Yeah, I already like on the car was just like, did you know?
But it's crazy how much you can find out in an hour. I think that's what's like
yeah.
weird about this. In your room, on your computer.
If you like concentrate for an hour and like look, but I always find like I want to search something and I'm like I don't know what, but like having a phrase or like a certain thing to start with, like it makes it good. Like okay, I'm really going to focus on this now, and I'm going to like read into this, and then you get caught up in it and you take it too far.
It's like literally a tunnel that you fall down,
Yeah.
and you I just found like on each article I was on, there was something interesting in that I wanted to
they,
find
like
out
read more articles
Yeah.
where they want you to like click on the next thing.
Yeah.
So I searched, and then the first name like that comes up all pretty much all over like the news and the different Wikipedias or whatever was Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos.
I think it's Bezos. So he comes up pretty much, and he is the CEO of Amazon, like the creator of Amazon.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, Amazon's a big website, but I would have thought like Google or like Microsoft would be above that. Well, actually,
I suppose with Amazon, they probably get money from everything they sell, right?
I think so. So they're in like every department.
Yeah. Whereas like Google, it's all advertising, is it? And like shares that they get money from.
I don't know. That kind of thing.
I know.
But, so he comes up, and then I was like, oh, interesting. But then I got distracted by Wikipedia's like list of billionaires, like the top 10.
Yeah.
So I went on there, and then so number 1 was Bill Gates. That's what I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
But apparently, according to the rest of it, Jeff Bezos now number 1.
Really?
Yeah,
So
so-
I did not know that from my deep dive.
Ooh. Well, there's Bill Gates, and 2's Warren Buffett, 3's Jeff, and then 4's Amancio Ortega, and then 5's Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, yeah.
But then I like, of the top 10, 8 of them are American, and 1 was Mexican, and 1 was Spanish. And I was like, I thought they'd be like, in my head, I just assumed it would be Middle Eastern,
Yeah.
like, and then a few like Chinese, and then American, pretty much. I didn't think it would be so dominantly American.
So that's what I was so surprised at, that most of the richest people on the planet are American.
Yeah, so that leads me on to the next thing, which was
Okay.
the US has apparently 565 billionaires.
Oh my God.
China apparently has 319. Germany has 114. India has 101.
Wow.
And but this is according to Wikipedia, because like there's a few things when I went on to search other stuff later, it kind of conflicted what Wikipedia was saying, because I think the Wikipedia stuff was a bit outdated.
Is Wikipedia by... Do they have people doing it themselves, or is it like people update it?
There's a company that like they like make sure people don't put, because you can update it yourself, but they check and make sure it's not ridiculous.
Okay.
And then they eventually like correct it, I think. But yeah, so I looked further into Jeff Bezos because he seemed to be the big name all over it. So he's the head of Amazon. But then I was like started looking into the other things that like him and Amazon have funded, because like obviously start putting money into other companies and like upstarts.
Yeah.
So then they funded at least partly Airbnb, Google, Twitter, Uber, and then
Oh my
like
God.
40 other things. But I was like, Google? I thought Google was before Amazon. So I was
Yeah.
like, but I suppose they'd probably put some money into like shares or something, or some part of it. But yeah, so then a lot of the big billionaires make their money from manufacturing and tech like companies and stuff now.
It's kind of, that's the thing. I was like surprised. I thought it would be a lot more like oil.
Yeah, like straight. I was like, "Where's all the oil rich men?" I thought it would be all like
top 100 oil.
sheiks and stuff. Is it sheiks? Sheiks.
What's sheiks?
Like the princes in the Middle East. They're all called like sheiks or sheiks.
I did not know that.
Yeah, we should. They're like the guys who have like lions as pets and stuff.
Oh.
But there's been a 13% increase in billionaires in 2017 in like worldwide.
Wow.
Which, I mean, like, good for that 13%. And apparently there's 130... And this is where I thought, because in the list of the most billionaires in every country, England wasn't on it. But then when I looked into, like, okay, how many's England got then? Because they obviously have less than, like, India and Germany.
Yeah.
Apparently England has 134 billionaires. But then... I think that doesn't mean they're necessarily British. I think that's like that live in England.
So they could be American or...
Yeah, because like I looked through the list then of like the top ones, and it was like some people who'd like lived most of their life in England. Their base is England, but they're like from India or from... Where was the other one? Like China and stuff like that. But they just live in England because
it's so weird.
It's great.
We view ourselves as being this superpower. But we don't actually have that much wealth in comparison to...
Well, we if you think we do.
I suppose in our size.
But it's like, obviously, India is really up and coming at the moment with like...
Hip and trendy.
Yeah, they're just so hip. No, but they've just got loads of like money now, haven't they? And they're like...
I find it so weird because like when I went to India, I hardly saw the rich side of it.
No, yeah, you just see the poverty, don't you?
Yeah, most apart from like in Mumbai and... like it just didn't feel like a place where billionaires lived.
Yeah.
So I find it so insane to...
I think they're really big on like telecommunications and like tech stuff in India now, but I don't know because that wasn't part of my research.
Just find out next week.
Yeah. We'll also get back on the shake thing.
Yeah. Shake.
And then there's a link I saw, and then so the next just kind of took me off that kind of stream of thought, and it was like, oh, Adele topping the list of under 30s rich list.
Really? She's the number one of the under 30s?
Yeah, she earned 40 million last year.
Oh my
God. So
God.
she's now worth 135 million. And I was like surprised because I didn't think, obviously there's a lot of money in music, but that's a lot of money.
I thought there was a lot less money in music because of...
Than like film and TV.
Yeah,
and stuff.
because film is rising and music industry is kind of going down because of illegal downloads.
But surely film as well, because you can download
apparently
films.
not. Well, in England, apparently, like the film industry is one of the most profitable at the moment. It's like
that's
it's going
cool.
up. Yeah.
But there was like a list of British and Irish musicians, and at the top of it, this was like not under 30s. At the top of it was, can you guess who the like British and Irish musician who's going to be number one, like has earned the most money?
Is it Harry Styles?
No, like ever.
Ever
like,
in the world?
Not ever, but like who's still alive and is still making money. So they've made more money now, making them even richer, but they've accumulated it for a while. So I think
You're
someone
looking at
older.
me like I should know.
No, I'm just saying like they're going to be someone older, aren't they?
Is it just a one person on their own, or is it like a band?
Both.
What is it Robbie Williams?
All will be explained later. No, you'll think about people who've had more time to accumulate
Tom
money.
Jones.
No.
Okay, one more guess.
Yeah. I think you're going to get it this time. Think about like who's the most famous band in the world?
The Beatles. John Lennon. Paul McCartney.
Why would it be? Yes, the dead man. No, I know he's dead. But it was Paul McCartney. And interestingly, it's like Paul McCartney and Nancy Shevell, his current wife. I didn't even know he was married again. But then I was like looking further down the list, and there's like Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, but they don't have like Keith Richards and I think his wife's called like Patty, but like doesn't have their married name. So it's kind of like, why is she? I was like, was she influential in his music career? She's like 20 years younger than him, but like, is she getting some cut of this money? They're worth 780 million.
Oh my God.
I know. That's 20 million up this year. But yeah. So then apparently, I'm still on the music thing. I'm like,
into music.
This. And apparently Adele turned down $1 million to perform like a private gig in the Middle East for like a sheikh, I presume.
I actually heard about this.
To do her gardening instead.
Oh, that's so... But she also probably felt like, why should I go and perform
All the way over there.
for £1 million just because you're rich?
With the amount of money she's making, she doesn't need that $1 million.
That's probably like my dad being like, do you want a tenner if you go to Liverpool and buy me a chocolate bar? That's probably the equivalent for her.
Yeah, so I was like, kind of like, fair enough. I think she doesn't like going out of her way. I don't think she really loves touring either.
She's quite, I think, a homebody.
Yeah, and it says apparently she makes 100 and this is like going off how much she made roughly a year and stuff. So it's not the most accurate thing in the world.
Yeah,
but she makes £144,000 a day. This is all in pounds as well, not dollars. And then it had like a list got onto a list of all these like big names, daily incomes.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like I've got a lot of facts and figures in mind because I just find it like so interesting.
I know, I really like this.
So apparently Bill Gates, guess how much money he makes a day?
A day. So I saw that he's worth like 80 billion or something like that.
I think so.
200,000 a day.
Okay, come on. Adele's making 144.
So
Adele's making 144.
500,000 a day.
Adele's worth 135 million.
Yeah.
And she's making 144,000 a day.
Okay.
He's worth 80 billion.
So this is too much for my brain.
Okay, so he gets 7.1 million pounds a day.
Are you
That's what he makes.
fracking kidding me?
Oh, frig.
That's insane.
And then J.K. Rowling makes 198,082 pounds a day, and she was like one of the first British she was the first billionaire from books, but
first ever. That's impressive.
Yeah, and I think, or maybe it's the first woman or first British, but she used to be a millionaire that last year, but she's actually gone down now because partly because British have really high tax rates and also she gave away 160 million to charity, so that's like lowered her wealth. So she's like still like 800 million.
Yeah.
But she's not quite a billionaire anymore.
I love that it's because she gave it away to charity.
Yeah, I thought that was nice, but it was also largely tax on that.
Yeah.
Elton John's on 125,000 a day. Jennifer Lawrence is on 49,863, which I thought was interesting then because I was like, her compared to Adele, like it was a big year for Jennifer Lawrence in film and a big year for Adele with a new album, but Adele just made so much more.
Oh my god!
Like because like she's the highest paid actress, like or one of them at least. I think this year it was Emma Stone or something, but she got 18.2 million this year, whereas Adele got 40. So it's like,
oh my god! I would have, if you said to me who made more money, Adele or Jennifer Lawrence, I probably would have said Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, you'd think, but I suppose you get more royalties because there's more playing of the song and stuff, isn't there, as a musician?
Also, you hire out musicians way more than you hire out actresses.
Yeah, you don't just like come do a little, like they would like come to the Middle East and do a little performance for us.
Exactly.
But yeah, and like some people I was like, they're making so much ridiculous money, and other people then by comparison I'm like, oh, that's not much. Like Cara Delevingne gets like 21,000 a day, which is still ridiculous.
But compared to Bill Gates, you're like, oh honey, you're not making much.
But she got 8 million last year and she was best paid. She's like the best paid UK model.
Is she still in modelling? I suppose she did this whole spiel, like she did a video where she was like, I'm leaving the industry.
Well, she's just been in the like Dior ad with the Doctor Who. I feel
like
guy.
She might have come back and been like, oh, I didn't mean I was leaving the industry. I meant I was not doing the things I didn't want to do in the industry.
She got like an old man voice.
I'm ill, Sarah.
And then I got on to this took me down another lane then of Theresa May gets £412 per day. And I was like, what?
Wow.
And I thought, I've never actually thought about their salary. Apparently the Prime Minister's salary is £150,000, £150,402 a year. Yeah, so that's their salary.
But they don't have rent.
Yeah, they don't have rent, and they also have like Chequers as a country estate, and they obviously have like their fingers in all these pies, and they're making money elsewhere.
And they probably.
But I just thought that's interesting that their salary is that.
Yeah.
And then I looked into it, and the British Prime Minister isn't even the highest paid member of our Parliament.
Who
Apparently,
is?
the Scottish First Minister, which is Nicola Sturgeon.
Really?
Her income, her like pay would be 144, which I know it's because it's actually Theresa May is going up. I think it's going up to 150, whereas it was originally like 142.
Okay.
or 140. But yeah, so at one time, I think it was when David Cameron was in, it was 144,000, and apparently she only claims she doesn't claim the whole thing because she didn't want to be making more than David Cameron or something. She was like, it's not right that she should be getting more than the Prime Minister of the UK. But she claims 135. So I was like, okay. Oh, you poor thing. But
she could get more.
She could, apparently. But then the Speaker of the House of Commons as well gets 142,000 and something. But then, yeah, the PM salaries to increase, I think. Apparently Gordon Brown reduced it by like 20 grand when he was in, and he didn't tell anyone until after.
Just because he felt like they shouldn't be getting as much, or
I don't know. It was just a fact I read. Probably might not be true, because all these things are saying figures elsewhere. But then I was like, okay, let's see what the US presidential salary was.
Yeah.
And that was, guess how much it is?
Okay, so ours is
150 grand, give or take, like a couple hundred.
I reckon American is like $500,000.
$400,000, not far.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, which is equivalent to like £300,000. And then on top of that, 50 grand annual expense account, and then that's in dollars, and then $100 in like travel account. No, $100,000, sorry, and then $19,000 in just entertainment money. Like,
oh my god, why do you need that on top of the three?
I don't know if that means like the White House parties or something, because I'm like, oh, fair enough if you're having like diplomatic parties or whatever.
But do you really think
they do those like Halloween
Trump
stuff?
is sat there like, okay, so we're going to put like 1,000 aside for this?
Well, that's actually interesting, and they have free housing and free transport or whatever. But apparently Donald Trump's thing is like, he said he was only like, if I get into power, I'm not going to take any money salary. I'm not going to do that. And then apparently they got in that was like, it's illegal not to get paid for it. So he's like, oh, I'll only get paid $1. So apparently, I didn't look too much into it because I was running out of my precious hour. Oh. But apparently he only gets paid $1 a year.
Is it true? Is it
I
just
don't know.
his, like...
That's the thing. But also, apparently JFK and Herbert Hoover just donated their salaries to charity, which I saw because one of the blogs or the thing I was reading, they were just like, why doesn't he just donate it to charity rather than like refuse it?
That's what makes it suspicious. Like, where is that going?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's the end of my dig.
Wow, that's interesting.
I keep dig dive.
Google deep
dive.
Yeah.
Google deep dive.
That was a very deep dive.
Yeah, I feel like I'm strained my brain thinking of it was so many figures and numbers, and they're probably all wrong because nothing on the internet's true, but it's just interesting to see like
it's probably
what people are making
around
and
that amount.
The kind of money that's going
what
around.
What I find crazy is that people wake up and they have like they've made 7 million just by waking up that next day.
Yeah, like Bill Gates just making money all the time.
All the time. It must, like, in a way, it must almost be depressing because it's like it loses its value. Yeah. What are you going to buy?
To be fair, Bill Gates and his wife give like loads of money to charity.
That's what you'd have to do to stay sane.
And I saw something where he's like a kind of quote from him, and it was something like, he's like, at some point money just becomes meaningless, like, or it's just like the money kind of doesn't mean anything now because it's like to the point where he's so ridiculously, he's the richest man in the world, like it's no longer a thing. You know what I mean? Like when you've got all the money and you can buy whatever you want, you almost, it's just like, oh.
Yeah, it's almost like, well, but then it brings you back to the values of what actually matters, right?
I'd hope.
Well, you'd hope so.
I just know whenever you see it's him and his wife, they're always giving loads of money away.
See, I'd love to be rich to be able to do that because you'd feel great.
Yeah.
About yourself.
It'd be good for me.
Yeah.
But yeah. But what did you get into?
Mine went on some weird tangents, I feel. And it got like almost not money related from where we started, but it is money related. So I searched the richest man on the planet, and we were also talking about this, how we kind of had to check ourselves and be like the richest person on the planet, even though we know it's a man.
Yeah,
I don't want to assume.
I think it was all men in the top 10.
It was all men, but then I got bored at looking at the men because I was like, they're all just men.
Yeah.
So I straight away looked at the richest woman in the world because I couldn't find her on the list, how far down it was, and this was Lillian Burtoncourt.
Yeah.
The L'Oreal heiress, but she died a month ago.
Really?
Yeah, so now she's no longer the richest. And the heiress to Walmart is Alice Walton. And she is, I think, 18th in the world of men and women. That's what they said on their page, but I couldn't find her on the Wikipedia page. And she's the daughter of the founder of Walmart, Sam Walton. And she's now the wealthiest woman in the world, but not by her own merit.
Yeah.
She's also been arrested a few times for drunk driving, and she killed a woman.
What?
Yeah, so this is what I really wanted to get into, because she killed what I picture as a sweet old woman. Well, not that old, she's 50, but she was 50. She's called Aletta Harding. Like, what a sweet name.
Aletta?
Aletta.
Oh.
Don't you imagine just the really... And she's a canary worker.
What's that?
I imagined with canary birds. I don't know if that's true.
Is that some...
I just take things as they sound, like he's a rockin' fella.
Rockefeller? He must be in the music industry. I know,
and I tried to look into it, but she didn't even get a ticket for...
What?
Yeah.
Was it like wrongful, like she was driving badly, or was it like an accident?
Well, what I don't know is she's got arrested multiple times for drunk driving.
So it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good. And apparently she paid off, basically, all these, because charges weren't pressed. Apparently there was something about it being misty on that day, but, I mean, she killed a woman. So it doesn't sound great.
Like, I would have think, like, yeah, she'd pay it off, but I would have thought she'd at least go to court for it and then, like, pay off people.
Exactly, and it seems like literally no. And I tried to Google Aletta Harding and find more about her, but there's like nothing about her. And it's so sad because she's probably someone's mum.
Yeah, but she probably paid off the family and was just like gave them settlement, because that happens so often, and it just gives settlements like, oh, don't take this to court. We'll give you like,
because she's got like 39 billion.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, well, fair enough, because even if you do take them to court, they're going to win because they're going to have better lawyers and they're going to have like. They're going to pay people off. So
exactly.
It's like, you might as well take the settlement. But it's horrible.
And it's almost the stress of going through the ordeal of a court case would be more traumatic than just being like, okay, I'll take it. The money. So then I hit a dead end at that point. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to the mail list. And I took an interest in Mark Zuckerberg because I don't like him.
No. And it's because of Jesse Eisenberg in Social Network, I think.
I can't... Yeah, there's something about him.
Comes across snaky.
I know this. Even his smile is weird.
Yeah.
And I was reading his stuff about him, and he announced in 2015 that him and his wife, I can't remember her first name, but her second name's Chan, were going to give 99% of the Facebook wealth to the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. It's some sort of charity. And then I realised it could just be giving it to themselves because it's the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. And I looked into it, and it says that it aims to advance human potential and promote equality in areas such as health, education, scientific research, and energy, which sounds good.
A little bit slippery, though.
Slippery, yeah. And it's also not a charitable organisation. It's a limited liability company.
Well, like a research funding thing.
Almost, but it means he can just spend the money how he wants.
How much percentage of the Facebook wealth is it?
99%.
99? Oh.
But basically he just still has all control of the shares. And he can use the money for his means, but I feel like it's just a front to seem like he's giving money to good places where he actually isn't.
No, he's just putting it back into himself.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it seems. And so I've heard a bunch of controversy about Zuckerberg. I remember there was things where he was putting like drones over places in India to give them like free Wi-Fi, as if he was doing this like amazing gesture and like and giving them knowledge. You know what I mean? And India like banned people from using this Wi-Fi.
Why?
Because it was just data collecting. You had to like put in information about yourself to get this Wi-Fi. And India was kind of like, as well, we have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Like, why are you coming over here and acting as if
patronising.
Yeah, it's very patronising.
Also, you're giving poor people internet, which effectively you're just trying to giving them the ability to use your product.
Exactly. It's all because all of what Facebook is data collecting, isn't it? And then I was like searching through controversy about Zuckerberg because I wanted to see how shady he was, because he sounded very shady. And I saw about this. Did you know about this? Because I had no idea that Facebook had people from Russia making ads on pages to kind of persuade people to vote for Trump.
No, I know there was something with the Russians and Facebook.
Yeah.
But, like, it's always the Russians.
It always comes back to the Russians.
No, I'm sure they're lovely, most of them.
I'm sure they are, but I find it weird how all the articles just go, "Oh, the Russians are hacking," as if it's the whole country.
Like, there's a thing where, like, most of Russia lives in the west, like right on the Moscow, St. Petersburg area, and then like the rest of the country, which is one of the biggest countries in the world, is just like people dotted around, small little kind of like old-fashioned villages.
It's almost like separate countries.
Like Siberia is just almost deserted.
Yeah,
and it's just like ridiculous.
But I just don't like how they blanket term Russia as...
because it's tight on all the other like Russians just living their life.
Exactly, it's just some Russian spies. Yeah. So they were basically they created about 120 pages and created 80,000 posts, which like 126 million Americans ended up seeing. And Zuckerberg released a sampling of like 3,000 of these ads because now he's involved in a court case about it because it's brought Facebook's safety into question.
Is this the court case against one of Trump's aides?
I don't know what it's about. I think it's I don't know what exactly it's about, but I think it's about security. That they're saying that Facebook needs more security, and I think Zuckerberg is like it's becoming a court discussion of what Facebook needs to do, because some of the things that these Russian spies were like plotting, or these Russian groups were plotting, is actually really scary. One called Heart of Texas, because they use the algorithm of Facebook to gain the people viewing it that they would need. So when they're trying to influence a certain type of person, they're using the Facebook algorithm to get those people on their pages. So they had one people called the Heart of Texas. And it announced a rally to take place on May 21st, 2016, under the banner "Stop Islamization of Texas." And then a separate Russian controlled group called the United Muslims of America publicized a different rally to save Islamic knowledge. Same place, same time.
Oh, so obviously the Heart of Texas one was like done in reaction to that.
Well, they were trying to incite violence. They were trying to... It's the people who were making these pages are basically trying to make more conflict in America for some reason.
Then it promotes Trump's...
Yeah. Or even if it's nothing to do with Trump, it's strange, like, why are they... it's almost like they want to pull America apart. And there was a New York article which spoke of News of the Week, which is like a Russian news program by Dmitry Kiselnikov.
Perfect pronunciation, I'm sure.
And he has a theory behind the Harvey Weinstein allegations that it's basically Hillary Clinton's fault. He was saying that, stating that it's odd that the allegations have come out now, saying offensive things like, what were the women thinking about going with him alone? Like, victim blaming, that kind of thing. And then he said that the money Weinstein was contributing to the Democratic Party is the reason why his career has been tarnished, not his history of abuse. And concluded that Weinstein's affair was a Democratic plot to discredit Donald Trump. who had similar allegations. So basically, they thought that the government,
that Trump would get wrapped up in people coming forward and being like,
because they were like, Harvey Weinstein's career is gone, so now Donald Trump's career should be gone.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, in a way, it's kind of worked. Like, a lot of people now, like, it's not just Weinstein. Everyone's getting dragged into it, which is, like, fair enough. But
Exactly.
I doubt it's all materialised, because it's all actual people claiming it. You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
It's
if it was just, like, random.
It's basically like what's actually happened is it's like whistleblowers, like people have come forward, and it's opened the floodgates of people now feeling confident enough to come forward.
Do it, yeah.
But the Russians are so not the Russians,
all of the Russians.
But these conspiracy theories that some Russians have, just blame the Democrats and the government for everything, and they can't believe that this abuse actually went on. So they're basically it's Hillary Clinton's fault.
But that's ridiculous, because he was a big funder of Hillary Clinton. So it would be like, why would they want to drag her? It would drag her name down.
It doesn't make any sense.
I guess the timing of it, like that it all came out after the election, might be a little bit. But even so, like, it's been so long that it's probably nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it's just so funny that the Russians are there being like, it's something to do with Hillary and Trump.
I hate it, because, like, it is, in a way, like, obviously some of it's ridiculous and some of it's true. And then it's like, you know, that, like, all the things that are happening, all these little events go on, have these ripples, and it affects, like, policy, and, like, it affects, like, the, like, money and banks, and, like, people who are clever and, like, clued into it can just see, okay, that's going to happen and that's going to happen, so we should buy stocks in this, and then that's how they get rich and stuff. It's like seeing the projections but like, you just, things you would never think of being linked. You wouldn't think like, oh, Facebook and Hillary.
Exactly. Or like Facebook, Russian spies and Harvey Weinstein, like, all together. And it's just, I feel like my spree took me away from money, but more into like money-fueled conspiracies.
The rich people rather than the actual... I followed the money itself.
Yeah, you did, and I like that. But I feel like we should go over our things and talk about our agreements. Like, maybe like how much we should do a blood boil a meter for the...
Oh, yeah. Rating.
Don't you just hate it when... So I think for my DJ Khaled meme millionaires...
Okay, out of 10 blood boils.
Out of 10 blood boils, I'd say a 7.5. Because it can really make my blood boil. And then I kind of calm down and I'm like...
but he the best.
No, I'm like, I can't be bothered to be angry.
I'd probably go like a 6. Like the hold you down thing, I'd probably put higher, like 8. But then I won't pretend like I haven't sang along to a lot of those songs.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's when I watch the hold you down.
That's like the real... Yeah. What do you call it? Like the bit that pushes you over the edge.
I just watch it going, how dare you, DJ Khaled? I think we should leave a link to some DJ Khaled things.
I was thinking that, but then I was just like, are we just further promoting DJ Khaled?
That's so true. Maybe we won't. If you want to find them, you find them yourselves.
But I'd say about 6. What about how much does it boil blood? The misrepresentation of wealth in TV and film.
I would say, because part of me...
It doesn't even boil my blood that much. It's just one of those things that, like, niggles. It's like there in the background, like...
It has, like, a depressing effect on your life, because you're a bit like, why can't I afford these things?
Actually, if you think deep down, it ruins your life.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna say.
It ruins your whole life, so I'm 10.
I'm going to say it boils my blood like a 5.5.
I will give a similar...
Because I'll still watch those films, and I'll still like their houses, and I'll still like seeing it, but then I'm like, but that's unrealistic.
Almost like if New Girl was set like in a less cool fire brigade hall, would we enjoy it less?
No, I like how open plan the house is. It makes their like antics feel more like spacious. I don't know.
I like fantasizing that maybe that could happen one day, even though it's unrealistic.
I was just the other day looking at like flats in different places of the world to see the prices, and I was like, oh, in Canada or something like that, or Brooklyn, and like I was looking through, and it was all just like single girls wanting another girl to live with them, and I was like, where's the one for if you want 5 male jazzy flatmates? Like, One's a bit OCD. One works at a bar. I just wanted like a
One's
group.
Winston.
Yeah, and I was like, it just isn't realistic.
Oh, I hope it is. Because I used to, when you're like in college and you're fantasizing about your future life, New Girl is the perfect thing to watch, to be like, that's what I want my life to be like when I'm like 20-something.
Working like big jazzy jobs, like she's a teacher.
And their job is nowhere
officer.
near the thing that, that's what I love. It's not like they're really like, what's the word? Like, if you're trying to achieve something. Ambitious. They're not really ambitious and their careers aren't everything. It's more about the little things that happen between them. That's the important thing.
But yeah, I think we can agree. And we both agreed we'd be sugar mamas.
Yeah, we did.
And we both agreed on we'd take the 1 million from the alley.
Yeah, because I want to take the 1 million with you.
If me and Ella ever disappear randomly,
you know what's
to
happened.
Hawaii
with a couple of
with that dirty alley money.
Yeah. And I was thinking we could come up with what you think was the most interesting.
Oh, of your deep dive. What thing? What was
and then
it
I'll say what I think
interesting?
was most interesting.
Do you know what? Probably. I did find the like Walmart heiress thing interesting, but and also it's a shame like the one heiress is like happens to be a dick.
Exactly.
But I'd probably say the Russians posting on Facebook. It's like one of those things where I've heard whispers of like the involvement of individual Russians, not all of them, and in Facebook and in the American elections, but it's interesting to see a bit more like actually how they did it.
And also like posts we might have seen have been like a couple of Russians.
Probably weren't targeting us though so much.
Yeah, that's true. But it's funny to think that because I watched a film recently as well, which is called Death of Stalin.
I want to see that.
It is really funny, but it just shows like. It presents like all these high-powered people in Russia just doing stupid things for stupid reasons, and I can just imagine like a group of these individual Russians sat around and being like, "I'm going to post this one. What do you think?" like just like not even thinking about it that big a deal. You know what I mean?
I don't know. In my head, it's like a big, massive conspiracy, and they're all getting told to do it, and it's like their jobs to do it.
They're like all under
they're
like
probably
tunnels,
getting paid off secretly by like big movers. I'm even now thinking like, if this video doesn't get that many views, it's because of the Russians. No, I'm joking. It's because
those few individual Russians.
Yeah. What about mine?
For yours, I literally think I love the individual everyday, how much they earn. And I think the comparison of Jennifer Lawrence with Adele.
Yeah, because I was just like, they're
really
both around the same age. They've both kind of been famous for around the same time.
Yeah.
I'd put them on the same success level.
Exactly.
But obviously there's, I suppose, because Jennifer's a little part of a big picture, whereas like Adele is Adele, and she
Adele
writes,
without her.
she performs, she does all of it, like pretty much for her.
I didn't think about it that way.
So she'll just get like a bigger percentage of it. But yeah, anyway, that was interesting.
That was interesting.
You have to tune in next time.
Yes.
What's next week's episode is Diamond in the Rough. So finding kind of interesting little gems for you in the amongst the mud.
Amongst the big old mud.
So
I'm excited for this one.
Some nice things for you there.
Yeah.
But hopefully a bit more optimistic.
Yeah, I think this one was a bit depressing, but we're shining next week, guys.
All right. Well, that's all from us.
Yes, it has been a gentleman's agreement.
Huzzah!